What's going on, people, and welcome to another video of the SNES Geek Show. I'm of course Daniel and the SNES Geek, and now I'm back with another episode after 2 weeks. And for this video I'm gonna talk about that video game, but before that video game happens I'm gonna tell you about Sega, you know, the game company. So back in the 80s, throughout the 90s, as well as the very early 2000s, Sega was developing console hardware. However, due to several mistakes like the Sega Saturn 32X and Sega CD, Sega stopped developing hardware back in the early 2000s. And one of the biggest IP was created by Sega, Sonic the Hedgehog. And so at the cancellation of the Dreamcast in 2001, Sega was now on their own. Now they were only making software, and they were now ready to publish games on other consoles. And so the very first game developed by Sega, well, Sonic game developed by Sega, was Sonic Adventure 2. Well, the first Sonic Adventure without to be released on the Sega console, since it wasn't there. So it received very good critics from across the border, and it has become a classic ever since. And then in 2004, Sega made another Sonic game, and this time it was gonna be the first on the PS2 and the Xbox, and that game is, drumroll please, Sonic Heroes! So this was released in 2004 for the Xbox, PS2 and GameCube, as well as the PC. So this was the first Sonic game that did not receive critical acclaim. It actually received mixed critics. And after this game's inception, there are some people that like this game, but mostly it is considered a bad game. I got my copy back on my birthday back in 2013. And as time has gone by, I haven't really played the Xbox a whole lot. That means not the Xbox version. So it makes me wonder exactly, is the Xbox version good, or is it terrible? Did I just remember wrong? Well, let's find out. So starting with this game, it opens up with the computer-generated FMV. Sonic runs who knows where when Tails and Knuckles show up, and Sonic receives a letter. And this letter talks and has clear text written on it. Now that is something that's kind of odd, because letters in games don't usually have any real words. You just bunch of scribbles. But this particular game has letters in its intro, and basically says that he's with the ultimate weapon, which gonna fire in 3 days, and he makes Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles try to stop him. And so after a few motivational words, they leave on a grand adventure. And for some reason, Tails jumps off his airplane, also known as the X-Tornado, I think it's called, just off into the distance. You don't even see it anymore in this game. He just jumps off along with Knuckles. Which, by the way, why does Tails even have an airplane? I mean, he can fly with his tails. But yeah, whatever. I guess there's some logical way for Knuckles to be on it as well. And so that cutscene is over, and the first level can begin. Okay, so the main selling point of this game, aside from it being a Sonic game, is that you play 3 characters at once. That's right, 3 characters at once. That's actually a lot of characters from one game. Okay, so you can pick from maybe 4 different teams, all of them based on difficulties. So Team Sonic is obviously gonna be the medium difficulty. It has all the levels, and it's just the right difficulty for newbies to experience the whole game, but still wants a fair challenge. And then there's Team Dark, who is, well, it's the highest difficulty. Enemies takes much more to destroy, and it takes a lot more to get through each stage. And then there's Team Amy, who is the easiest difficulty in the entire game. All of those levels have been cut off, has been shortened down, and all the enemies are pretty easy to take out. This is the difficulty for newbies who just want to complete this game, or little kids. And then there's Team Chaotix, which features 3 characters. It's Espio the Chameleon, Charmy the Bee, and Vector. Well, I don't know really exactly, but Vector is an alligator. Now, their levels are mission based. You're supposed to complete a specific objective on each level. and it doesn't actually go through the entire level. It only does. It only takes a portion of the level and turns it into a mission based. You know, it's actually kind of creative. Has been tested very sense. Okay, so the way this game works, of course, you use the control stick to control your characters. However, it becomes a bit different than usual. Now, each character has its own specific characteristic that's gonna take you through the entire game. For Sonic, it's obviously gonna be speed. For Tails, it's gonna be about flight. Actually, when you push the X button, switch to Tails, for instance, then each and every character stands on each other, and then you can fly higher. Then he also has an aerial attack, and they're mostly used to stun enemies that's in the air, and to get through from the different paths. And then there's Knuckles, who is all about power. He just punches as much as he can. There are several parts in this game where you have to be powerful, so it's not like one character is better than the other. It's a combined mix of all three characters you play as, which is honestly a decent idea that hasn't really been used at all ever since this game was released. At every third level there is a boss fight. It can usually vary, but for this first boss fight, it's obviously gonna be Dr. Eggman in his Egg Hawk. And his battle is kind of interesting. Now you see, throughout the entire game, when you collect rings or take down enemies, you have a gauge that fills up at the corner of the screen. And when that fills up, you can perform a Team Blast, taking out every enemy on screen. It's honestly pretty good. It's honestly a pretty good idea. They implemented that into the boss fight. You really have to hurt. You really have to bump into the Egg Hawk as much as you can with Tails Thundershoot. However, the main idea behind this boss fight, to get as a great time as possible, is as if you attack using Team Blast. And you can charge, and two Team Blast will usually do it. And once you have damaged him enough, he will basically retreat. So I haven't beaten him. He just retired from that battle, and then you move on to the next zone. Yeah, it's kind of similar to the original games. If when you really think about it, a zone, and then you have to beat a boss fight at every third level. It's by no means a bad experience. In fact, I quite enjoyed that. And you know, it really is a diverse Sonic game. You really have to get a hang of the tactics this game provides you with. Yeah, despite what plenty of Sonic fans say about this game, I actually kind of enjoy it. Yeah, sure, it has its flaws. However, you can look past these flaws. You can overlook those. Sonic Heroes is by no means a bad game. However, despite being the inferior version, the PS2 version actually sold quite well, selling over 1 million copies on PS2 alone. Hell, it even got a platinum re-release on the Xbox as well, which is a pretty impressive feat for such a mixed Sonic game. But then again, most Sonic games sell well despite what they are. So that was everything I had to give to you for this review. If you like this review, comment down below, leave a like, share, and do all of that stuff. And I will see you in the next review. And also, this was the 27th subscriber special. Thanks to everyone who has subscribed. You rock. And so with that out of the way, I'm Out of Breath, and this has been this Friday's review. See you next time. Bye bye.